Hello, welcome. I'm opening the chat. Yes, I see, Tom. Thank you. Uh, do me a favor, go into chat. Everybody, tell me where you're calling in from. If I do not know you, that will be helpful. We're having some technical difficulties just with on our end. And yet we are still here. So, Liz, I think you're all set. The music kicked off all of a sudden, but that's all right. Hi, Grace. Hi, everybody. Susan, New Jersey, love it. Also tell me what companies you are all at, and if this is your first time joining me, or how you found out. Did a friend tell you? Did you join us? Did you follow my podcast? Whatever. If you are here, you are in the right place. We're talking about how to maximize the fourth quarter. I want you to realize something, right? This has been a an interesting year, and it is not over. And right now, you have the ability between now and the end of the year. The fourth quarter starts now. It does not start October 1st. I want you to write that down. Aha moments. Aha moments. I want to go on the left side of your note page, and action items on the right side. So set some goals, set some intentions. Say, this is what I'm getting out of today. This is what I'm going to implement. Kevin Dowell did that. He scheduled a strategy call with me, implemented action. I loved what you sent me, incorporating Sherri Johnson Academy scripts into expireds and your exclusive programs. That was awesome. And so I want action items on the right side. Please, action items have to be part of today's session. If you don't have any action items, we're going to just sit here, talk, have a great session, but nothing will come of it. And that's not the point of why you're here. You're here to actually catapult yourself into success. That is what happens when agents go through our coaching. That's what happens when agents go through our training. So I want you to put on your cameras if you're able to. Thank you. Gabrielle Cohen has hers on. I love it. The reason I believe that, hi Rhonda, the reason I believe that is I think you will get so much more out of this coaching if we're engaged and looking at each other and talking. I know I will. It's kind of hard sometimes to talk to a black screen, right? Of no one there. So it helps the person speaking when you're fully engaged. I see Joe Neal. Nice to see you. Susan, I recognize you, and we've met actually in person, I believe. You're Fox and Roach, if I'm not mistaken. BHHS. I think you're all here for a reason. I really want you to get something out of today. We're talking about why the last quarter is the second best quarter of the year. So think about this. The first quarter, not so great usually. The first quarter of the year, January, February, March, this coming 2026, imagine yourself with 3 to 5 closings every month, starting in January. Can you visualize that? Do you see that for yourself? If you say, gee, I can't, or it's impossible. It's not. It starts right now with the belief that you can and will make this happen. You just have to be the first person to believe it. So I teach this, I coach it, we get great success from people. You have to believe it first, or none of it will work. So I need you to say, I'm going to have 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 closings, income coming in January. Wouldn't that be a great way to start 2026 with, like, I don't know, $3 to $5 million every month of closings? See, what y'all do, and you don't realize it, is that what you do is you spend your time with 2 to 3 people that want to do something right now, and you don't have a full pipeline. We cover pipeline all the time, but the mindset of future business has to be right now how you look at every single lead. So stop looking at the leads as if they're bad because they're not going to buy or sell this week or next month. If somebody is 6 months out, get an appointment with them, please. Book appointments. Focus on booking appointments, not people's timelines. Does that make sense? Like, I think we all get all like, oh, I don't have anybody serious. I don't have anybody solid. That's what I hear. Yeah, you do. You have at least 10 to 20 people who are going to move within the next 2 months to 2 years. You have just discounted them as a bad lead because they're not ready to do something right now. And that's why you have a roller coaster ride of crisis sales, right? You have a good month, bad month, good month, bad month. Who can relate to that? It's awful. And so we're announcing via email in the next, I don't know, couple of days, a webinar that I'm putting on that will build your $15 million pipeline. And I've done this, guys, with people in 15 minutes. Okay. 15 minutes, we get to a $15 million pipeline. So you're going to want to mark your calendars. You'll get an email. My team will make sure all of you get this email. We're inviting everybody. It is a free webinar that will help you understand why the pipeline system works. I'll show you how I made $450,000 my second year in real estate, right? Out of nowhere. Like, I didn't buy leads. I made $450 in GCI. You can do the same thing. This is what we coach agents to do. Okay. So that webinar date will be announced. And then I want you to be on the webinar. And then on that webinar, I'll be announcing, and you can write this down, a 3-day challenge. And that is a virtual summit. It's only 2 hours a day. It's not all day, every day. You're going to be with me for 3 days in a row for 2 hours a day. And what we're going to do on that virtual summit, the 3-day challenge, is launch your specific pipeline. Does that sound good? And here's, and it's, I believe it's $97 for the VIP. One time for 3 days, $97. And then the general admission is $57. That's it. Giving you thousands of dollars worth of coaching for this 3-day summit. You know, normally charge $500-600 for this thing. I'm giving it to you at like zero, basically $97 for a VIP. The VIP will give you a longer session, a longer time with the playback recording. It'll give you a Q&A with me as well as a follow-up. The VIP is the way to go, in my opinion, right? $97 one time. 3 days of coaching. There will be 2-hour segments, and they will be midday for those that are West Coast, and those that are East Coast, it will be right in the middle of the day. We will not start super early. I'm telling you about this now because the email will be coming out in the next day or so, okay? First, you'll attend the webinar. It's 1 hour. It's about 45 minutes with some Q&A at the end. That webinar, invite your friends, invite whoever you want, people in your group, your organization, whatever. You can invite anybody to the webinar, and then the 3-day challenge will be about a week after that. Okay. That's going to set you up for the best fourth quarter. And in my opinion, the best first quarter of the year in 2026, because you need business 3, 5, 6, 10 months from now, don't you? Like, imagine yourself like 2-3 months from now. You need business. Your future self will thank you. But we don't spend the time. We just don't spend the time developing the future business. Right? We also, oh, those people aren't ready. Those people aren't ready. Those people aren't ready. Have you ever not followed up with somebody? Be honest. And if you're offline, you're not on the video, just show me by your hand raise. Has anyone lost a listing because you didn't follow up with somebody? And you didn't think they were serious, right? You didn't think they were serious. Thank you for being honest, right? Raise your hand, raise your virtual hand, put it in the chat. Thank you, Rhonda. You didn't follow up with somebody and they listed with someone else. And you see it in the MLS or you see the sign in the yard, both a blow to the gut. Like, that is not fun. We didn't follow up because this is what agents say to me. They told me they weren't serious, okay? And I'm going to tell you that people say a lot of things, don't they? A lot of people say a lot of things. We're human beings. Your clients are all sort of trying to figure out life. They are literally human beings having emotional experiences every day of their lives. And we have to sift through what they're saying because they don't always do what they say, do they? I'm not buying a ranch ever. They buy a ranch. I'm not buying new construction ever. they buy new construction, right? Hopefully with you. But your job is to sift through and figure out, what are they really saying? Get an appointment, focus on appointments, and your life will be so much better. The only way you're going to write a contract to sell a house, right? To either sell a house, write an offer, or list a house, a contract of either kind, buy or sell, is if you have a face-to-face appointment. So it is imperative that you start today. I'm going to suggest 4 or 5 ways today that you can go out and generate leads today that will make things happen. Okay? So you have to be responsible. I want you to write this down. Put down 100% and then /0. The 100% zero mentality. Does anyone know what this is? This is exactly where you need to put your mind and your belief and everything you've got. 100% accountability, 0 excuses. And so when you do this, like, you will thank me. People sign up for coaching and they're like, oh, I don't like accountability, but I want to make $450. Okay. Here's what the people making $450 do. Here's what separates a great agent from an outstanding agent, right? Here's the difference between someone making $250,000 a year and someone making $25,000 a year. Are they working 10 times harder or 10 times smarter? I'm going to say that, honestly, they're working 10 times smarter. And so I want you to look at what needs to change in your day-to-day behavior. And some of you, go ahead and type it in the chat. Like, do you need to wake up an hour earlier? Do you need to have a better plan before you go to bed at night? Do you need to have a strategy? Do you need to fill the pipeline? What do you need to do to fill the pipeline? Should you be doing better open houses at better locations? Do you want to increase your average sale price? Okay, because think about this. It's up to you. Like, this stuff isn't just going to happen. We know what to do with people who know what they're doing. Wouldn't you agree? That's easy. They call you up and they say, I'm ready to buy a house. You're like, great. Okay. You don't, in the meantime, you have to go make it happen. So there's a thing that's called, the jungle animal and the farm animal. Has anyone ever heard this? It's crazy, but it's kind of true. When you look at, and the people who taught me this they're incredible. They sell 500 houses a year. Judy and Dave Crockett, I just got to be with their team last week. I did a session on AI for them in person here in Cleveland, Ohio. And here's what happened. Like, he reminded me, and it's so true. We are either jungle animals or farm animals. And think about it. Farm animals sit around and wait to be fed, do they not? They're literally waiting to be fed. And I'm not saying this to be mean. I'm saying it to have a wake-up call for us. A jungle animal wakes up every day and knows that if it's going to eat, it has to go out and make it happen. And which one are we? Which one are we today? Are we showing up? I don't want you to scratch and claw your way to the top. That's obnoxious and weird and gross. Nobody likes that person. I don't either. Okay. I don't want to be that person. I don't want you to be that person. But something's got to make you hungry. If you're not hungry for something, it doesn't matter what I talk to you about. Okay. I can't motivate a satisfied person. And it frustrates me because sometimes I see the potential in people way before they do. So coaching isn't making you great, although my coaching will make you great, and my coaching will make you a lot of money and help you get there faster with a better system and a roadmap for success, right? But coaching isn't making you great. It's pulling out the potential I know you have inside of you that you just haven't tapped into. It's like any sport you played, right? I play tennis. I play golf. I hate the lessons. I hate the drills, but they make me better. And so when people say, well, I've already done this class, I'm like, I don't care. You haven't perfected it. Like, you have to actually fill the pipeline and do it every day. You do it once, you're not getting anything from it. It's not a one and done activity. 15 minutes to 15 million, right? You can build whatever you want right now. You just have to put it on paper. Like 97% of agents fail. 95% of agents don't have a business plan. This blows my mind. How is that possible? Well, I see it every day. We wake up and we sort of just wing it. We're going through the motions. I hope somebody calls me. I hope something happens today. Couple that with the fact that we have a very, very flexible schedule, which is absolute pitfall if you ask me. Like, wouldn't it be nice if your broker or your team leader or your coach or me or anybody or yourself said, I have to be at my desk at X amount of time because I have to work, just like a regular job. Like if you treated this like you were the CEO of your own business, would you fire yourself? I know you would. Some of us would. We'd be like, I don't do anything. I'm not selling anything. Well, guess what? I got to put the sales hat on. I got to show up. I have to make the calls. I have to make it happen. You're the only one that's going to make it happen. And full responsibility, zero excuses. That 100%. I'm all in, Sherri Johnson. I'm doing this. And so that comes from within you. Your why has to be so big that that's what you want to achieve, whether it's financial freedom, paying off college for your kids, paying for college for your kids, paying for private school, moving to a different neighborhood or house, putting on an addition, traveling, giving money to a charity, paying off debt. I don't know what your why is, but I need it to be so big that you are driven to perform at a level that will get you there. That's it. That's the recipe really for mindset. You don't have enough people on your pipeline. I already know that. When I had a call, somebody just scheduled a free strategy call. If you don't know what that is, I'll give you a link. You can schedule one with me or my team. But I did a call and she said, I don't have enough. I have nothing to give you. I don't have anything solid. And I want you to remove the word serious or solid out of your vocabulary. These are not going to be people on your list that are buying or selling tomorrow or next week or this month. Some of them are going to buy 6+ months out. That's okay. The whole purpose of this effort is to give you that longevity, right? Put as many people on there buying between 2 months and 2 years. That list you can come up pretty quickly, right? If I asked you, Gabrielle, could you come up with a list of people? Do you have 10 people? Does everyone on this call have 10 people that they know would buy or sell in the next 2 months to 2 years? That's an easier thing to answer for me than if I said, do you have 10 people that are going to buy or sell in the next 3 months, right? 2 years out, I can come up with that list, Sherri Johnson. Heck yeah. Right? So please do yourself a favor and stop looking at leads like, they're not ready right now. That's your biggest pitfall to me. That's what you're doing. That's why you don't have success. You go crisis managing from, crisis to crisis with nothing in the pipeline. And that's just not going to make it fun for you ever. It's just not going to be a fun. It's very stressful and it's also crisis selling. So we're going to get rid of crisis selling. We're going to go into, and again, attending this webinar on how to build a $15 million pipeline and then doing the 3-day challenge. So if you're in, again, the 3-day challenge, 2 hours a day for 3 straight days, $97 for the VIP ticket. That's the way to go. You'll get an extra Q&A session with me. It's like a coaching call. You'll also get the playback recording, and the general admission is $57. But we'll give you more information about that as we get closer. You'll get an email giving you the date of the event and also the dates of the 3-day challenge. Okay. So I want to emphasize that if you didn't hear me say this, the last quarter of the year is the second best quarter, period. The first quarter we know is pretty sluggish. I will tell you that the last quarter, October, November, December, has historically always been the second best quarter of the year. I mean, think about it. You have X number of weeks to get it done, right? Some people don't take advantage of the last quarter and the agents will say, oh, the year's over, it's Thanksgiving. Okay. I want you to think how many houses, go look. In fact, if you go look and you see how many houses were sold in January that closed, and you think they were written in November and December, How many properties transferred title before December 31st? I bought a house like that. It transferred on the 31st, 11 years ago. Think about the opportunities you're not taking that are costing you right now. So between now and the end of the year, you have 4 months. I added an extra month for you to make the fourth quarter 4 months instead of 3 months. Do you like that? I think if you conceptualize what could you do between now and the end of the year, that's 4 months. Could you have 2 listings a month? Could you do 4 listings a month? I don't know. I don't know what your why is, but you need to do something, right? Because you're doing this for a living. This is your business. This is literally the best opportunity. Every other agent is going to hit the snooze button, you guys, because they think it's Thanksgiving and then they write off December for all the holidays in December. Okay. Yes. It doesn't have to be, full throttle, but what if it were? I listed 11 houses in November once. 11. I wasn't a team. I'm a solo agent. I had 11 listings in 1 month. I still to this day, I don't know what I did. Other than I had a full pipeline at all times. Okay. 11 listings in 1 November. You better believe December, January, and February were amazing. Think about the income you're going to get from the activities you do right now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now. Okay. So you need to have a better plan. This is not your plan right now may not be working. I don't want to be mean, but hoping, hope is not a strategy. Hope is great, but hope is not going to bring people to your open house. It's not going to bring you listings. It's not going to put deals on the board or income in your bank account. Games are won in the last quarter. Unless you're the Cleveland Browns. If you've heard me say that, it's kind of funny. We lose games in the last quarter. It's kind of a Cleveland joke. Thankfully, I'm not a huge Cleveland Browns fan, but games are won in the fourth quarter, guys. I see it all the time. What can you do right now to have a better strategy and a better plan? It is not what you've been doing. Okay. What got you here isn't going to get you there. But more importantly, success isn't measured on what you are doing compared to other people. It's what are you capable of? And I'm here to tell you, I think there's a lot of we're shortchanging ourselves and we don't even know it. So if you could be more laser focused, if you could say, these are the 10 things I'm going to take out of my day, week, scrolling through social media. Maybe you've heard me on other calls. There's the to-do list and then there's the stop doing list. And when we do the stop doing list, we find out we have a lot more hours in the day. And Anne, I'm in the same boat. Go to bed earlier, get up earlier. I got up at 5 yesterday. I had the most amazing productive day, but I went to bed at 10. So I could do that. What do you need to do to change you? Transform yourself into new behaviors that create better results. Let's stop judging ourselves on our good intentions and start really judging ourselves, not even on the effort, but on the results. So write down the word results. You have to see results. You will see results, but you have to really have a plan. What is your plan? I've talked about these strategies over and over again. And it's funny how many times someone will take months to implement them. I got an email the other day from an agent in Texas, and she said, well, it's almost like you know what you're doing. It's a great start, right? She says, almost like you know what you're talking about. I finally called the list of expireds, and she has a $1.5 million listing who will buy 750 to 800. What are you doing? And then she followed up with that and said, I actually waited too long and 2 of these already got relisted with other people. And so she felt the pain of not putting anything into action. What is, sometimes pain's a great motivator. Sometimes, financial necessity is a great motivator, usually for me. I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. I'm 1000% financially responsible for them. And that's okay. That's what I signed up for. I don't regret it and I'm not complaining. But I always act like, oh my God, I need to always have business, real estate business, coaching business, consulting business. Do you have that mode? Do you have that drive, that gear? Because if you do these things and you create the energy and you put anything into action, you'll get the results. But you have to be the one who does it. It's not going to just magically happen. It's great when somebody says, hey, I have a referral for you. Or you call me and you say that postcard finally worked. Now, I believe in postcards. They're a huge part of my program. That's sort of like gravy after you are already doing business, though. It's not the only thing that we launch. I will tell you, this is face-to-face and talking to people. If you don't like that, you probably shouldn't do real estate, in my opinion. And I tell people that all the time. Like, you can't just say, well, I don't want to call my sphere. Don't want to bother them. I don't want to have a relationship with my sphere. That's weird. I think you can have relationships with your sphere and not even talk real estate, right? And organically, things will happen for you in real estate. So agents will say, I don't want to talk to my sphere and I don't want to cold call. So I'm like, okay, who are we selling houses to then? Right? Like, how are you going to sell anything? So I need you to say, I'm going to do open houses on purpose the Sherri Johnson way to make $50K, to make $50,000 from one open house. That's just putting my strategy in place. If you're not part of Sherri Johnson Academy through Playbook, join the Playbook or join coaching. These strategies will make you money. In fact, depending on what your average sale price is, one sale, right, will pay for 2 years of coaching for some of you. So I want you to write down, like, this has got to be the way that you think. Now, one of the biggest aha moments, and again, this is part of why you don't have success. We just don't have enough leads on the pipeline. So if you haven't downloaded the Goldmine pipeline, I'll give you that right here. You can scan this from your phone and request the Goldmine pipeline strategy. This is going to give you the ebook. We're going to cover this on the webinar, but we're going to really launch yours individually on this 3-day event. By the way, in that 3-day event, 2 hours a day, I'm going to give you assignments that you have to do so that when you come back, you have done the work. Okay. People in coaching make another 150 plus in less than a year. Some make 400 more in a year. Some have made 750,000 in a year, less than a year from Goldmine Pipeline. So you can implement this through that 3-day summit that I'm going to have, the 3-day challenge, but start today. Scan this and fill it. Now, what I need you to realize is that, like we talk about appointments, if you could write down on your piece of paper right now, one of the biggest secrets to this business is filling your calendar with appointments. So put in the chat how many appointments, and I'm going to cover listing appointments first. You can write down number of listing appointments, number of buyer appointments. But think about this. If you just focused on conversations for listings, conversations for people who wanted to sell, calling your sphere, texting your sphere, getting on social media, engaging with people. You have to engage with people. That's probably the biggest secret of my success, is constantly engaging and throwing myself into helping people. And I did that as an agent. I still do it as a real estate agent. So what can you do to book appointments? I mean, think about that. Someone on this call a few weeks or months ago said she got a call. Let's say she was a Virginia agent, maybe from Long and Foster. I can't remember. But she wrote in the chat, I stopped, 25-year agent, never focused on appointments before. And instead of worrying about the people's timeline and if they were ready yet or not, and that decided whether I was going to get an appointment, she said, I only focused on booking an appointment, Sherri, and it worked. And now I have $1.5 million buyer and a house to list. Now, what needs to change in your brain? I know this. You are sitting there thinking, well, they're not ready. I don't know. They're not ready. Why would I go to an appointment 6 months before someone's ready to list their house? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the first person who goes, 82% of the time, is the one they're going to use. That should probably excite you enough right there, right? So if you have some people right now, I'm looking at a lot of you, if you have some people that are like thinking about moving in the next 6 to 12 months, get an appointment with them now. Say, I'm not selling your house. I'm not coming to list it. I'm going to list it though, eventually, right? I'm not coming now to list it, but you know what, Lisa, I need to come and see your house now because I add more value at the front end. You need me now so I can help you get the house ready. You haven't sold a house in 8 years. I know what today's buyers like, right? Don't you have like 17 reasons to go there now to help them? Yes. If you don't know them, pull out my podcast, the original podcast, You Rock. Watch the Make 50 Grand at Your Next Open House. Get into playbook coaching with us somehow. I will tell you that if you add value, people will hire you. So yes, you need to get an appointment with someone who's 6 to 12 months out. Not because we're going to convince them to move sooner, because that's not the point. The point is you want to create a relationship, cement a relationship. Go and see the house ahead of time. Hey, by the way, Lisa, I'm going to be out looking for houses for you. It helps me and adds value for me to see your current home. I know what you like. I know the room sizes, the furniture sizes, the colors, the things you don't like. I know what you have to have in the next house because you're going to show me. It really adds a lot of value for me to see your current home. So can you get listing appointments with people? I'm not talking about the listing appointment where they assign and hire you. I'm talking about the one where you go see the house for the first time. You get a walkthrough. You learn about the property. You take copious notes. You build a relationship. And the dog that doesn't like anybody loves you. Do you know what I'm talking about? This happens, guys. Ann knows what I'm talking about. Dog that doesn't like anybody. Wow. They look at me. They say, wow, Buster doesn't like anybody. He sure loves you, right? You're petting the dog. And what you say is, in your head, you're like, yeah, the dog loves me. Everybody loves me. List your house with me. We're forming this bond. We're forming this relationship. And you are going to get the listing. Okay? 82% of the time, first person that goes in gets it. But we say, oh, they're not ready yet. I'm not going to meet with them now. You will get more business if you pre-meet with people. The pre-meeting, okay? How many listing appointments are you putting on your goal? Like, I need you to write that down. I need you to commit to it. I need you to commit to it. And then I need you to follow through by saying, I told Sherri Johnson. Now put that in the chat. Everybody has a different number, but you might say, I want to have 15 conversations a week about buying or selling. And I want to have 3 listing appointments, varying stages of their selling process, varying stages of their selling process. I'm going to say that again. Doesn't mean they're ready to go now. And I'm going to meet with 3 buyer consults a week. Like that, this is where you have to put your brain. Appointments make sales happen. Appointments make listings happen. But we don't have appointments in our calendar yet. But you will after this call. So think about it. How many listing appointments? And I'm going to go in the chat now because I don't see anybody's numbers. So I'm going to start calling you out if you don't put it in the chat. Did anybody put anything in the chat? Were they personal expireds? Let's see. Were they her personal expireds? No, Rhonda, these were expireds that were in the MLS just waiting for one of you to call them. Okay. So if you call expireds, you go back 12 or 24 months back, my formula though will get you that appointment 85 to 90% of the time. We get like an average 85% conversion rate to an appointment, converting it to an appointment. Not necessarily converting it to listing, although more than you get 8 out of 10 appointments, and those people, the 8 people, I love it, Ann. 8 appointments. Thank you. The expireds are free. They're the most qualified lead. They had a sign in their yard. There are hundreds of them in your marketplaces, everybody. I know you're like, oh, but there aren't any. No, that was 2021. That was 2021. And we are now 4 years past that. So please get into action, get into 10x action. Write that down. I want you in 10x action. 10% improvement, not much, right? Not much happening. 10% of 10 is 11. We go up 1, big deal, right? 10 times 10 is 100. Do you see the difference? That is magic. That is the difference between good and great. That is the difference between, making 50 grand and making 350 or 450. So put some numbers on paper. Now, I want you to get appointments, and I don't want you to get hung up on what are you doing at this appointment? You are creating a relationship for the future. Thank you, Gail. 7. You started to give us a listing conversion average from the 8. Oh, yeah. So that number, thank you, Kevin. Out of the 8 appointments that I go on, I will most likely list 5 or 6 of them. That's pretty high. That's me. Okay. So out of 8, I'm getting 5 or 6. It's another 80% conversion. That's pretty amazing. What could you do? The goal is not to stop when the expired person says we decided to take it off the market. That's not when the phone call ends. It's actually when it starts. Do you follow me? Here's why. I already know you took it off the market. You put the sign down. Like, I called knowing that, right? Tyrone, yes. 5 expired appointments per month. Can we make that? Is that per month or per week? You knew I was going to say that, didn't you? 5 per month or 5 per week. Compress your time. I'm whatever works for you, totally. But like, I'm supposed to say that, right? Why can't we do more? I mean, we've been literally programmed to settle. And I don't settle. I don't like you to settle. I don't want you to settle. I actually want you to realize that you're not that far from making it happen. So back on the expireds, when you call these people and they already say, like, we're taking it off the market, we decided not to sell, like a downer, Debbie Downer voice. And Debbie Downer from Saturday Night Live, but like, I'm saying it like they are kind of like, yes. Okay. Well, they didn't sell. It makes sense. I'm sorry. I'm sure you were very disappointed that it didn't sell. I understand. However, I call, right? Bringing new enthusiasm, new energy, a formula for why your house didn't sell, and so on. And I can't go into, we're not doing expireds today, but that one script can change your life. And by the way, please do not limit the price. If you're going after expireds, I want you to go for the 2 million, the 3 million. Please. I mean, cast a wider, bigger net and go for the big numbers. You do not need to have already done a sale. Okay. You do not need to have already done a sale at $1.5 million to call $1.5 million expired listing. I have success story after success story of agents who did this. They called 12 people. They spoke to 7. They got a 950 and a 350 listing. 2 appointments. An agent who never cold called anybody ever in her life did that. Okay. She's on a team. That team is up 60% in sales. And this gal needed listings. And I said, look, you need to go out and get listings. So she called expireds. Now, 5 of them said, we decided to take the house off the market. And she said, okay, thanks, bye. Thanks for taking my call. Now, does everyone see what's wrong with that? I already knew that they took the house off the market and they had started to decide they were not going to sell, but you're coming in to resuscitate, revive, get these people excited again, and then talk about where were you going to move? I can make that happen as well. So she's calling those other 5 people because, I said, can you call those other 5 people? She said, I already thought of that. So it doesn't end when they say we took it off the market. It's like calling it for sale by owner, which they're back, by the way. If you've been licensed 5 years, you don't even know what I'm talking about. A for sale by owner. What is a for sale by owner? It's funny, but it's not. For sale by owner, FSBO, They're trying to sell their house by owner, for sure. A little bit different than an expired lead because the for sale by owner either doesn't like real estate agents, they're in sales themselves, which most of them are not, and they're trying to sell it themselves, or they just want to save the commission dollars, right? And it's a little bit more of a challenge than an expired listing, but they're back and they're in some of your markets. I know where you guys are. They're very much back in like the Maryland region. I think DC has reported parts of California, but for sale by owners are coming back. So be strategic. Think to yourself, what is my strategy for making this call? Well, I want an appointment. What's the strategy for doing an open house? I want appointments. If I do an open house, I'm booking appointments. Right? So somehow have an aha moment with me that like, you don't just do the open house to make the seller happy. Do the open house to meet new people. Where else can we go where people are coming to you in droves? I just had a client in coaching. She had 27 groups of people come on Saturday. Another 36 people groups come on Sunday. The same house. And they've distilled it down to X number of new people on the pipeline. Now that's a really good number, right? Price point, obviously. And then I want you to write this down because this is relevant and timely today. If you didn't notice, there was a rate drop and now 500 million households can actually come into the market to buy a home because of that rate drop, okay? Go into ChatGPT and ask it to tell you what number of potential home sales will happen because of that rate drop in your community. When you go into chat, talk to it, ask the question, because of this new rate drop, the most recent drop in interest rates, how will that affect real estate sales in the last quarter or last 4 months and into the first quarter of next year? Ask it the question and say, I want the pros and cons for buyers and sellers. Now you have something to call people about, right? Could you call 10 or 15 or 20 people today? It's only 1:44 East Coast time. Could you call 15 to 20 some people today and talk to them about, hey, did you notice the change in rate? This means you were thinking about selling several months ago, or you're an expired that was on the market several months ago. This rate drop means 22,000 more eligible buyers are out in the marketplace right now. I don't know that they're all going to buy, but the buyer pool just went up. I think it's in your best financial interest for us to get together and meet. Could you get a listing appointment with that piece of information? Yes. Right? That's a little mic drop right there. Use that as information marketing, educational marketing, edu marketing. I don't like that word, but I say educational marketing. I'm going to call everybody on my pipeline. I'm going to call everyone I know. And I'm going to say, did you know that the rates dropped? Not much, but it's the lowest it's been since January. And what does that mean for you to give you more buying power as a buyer? What does it mean to you to help you sell your house? Right? How many are going to use that? That to me is a talking point you should be using for the next 2 to 3 weeks or more. Like that is a new talking point. Put it in the arsenal, put it in the toolbox. That is in your best financial interest. Add that and say to somebody, why don't we get together for a conversation? Obviously, I'm not listing your house. I just want to come over and see it. Maybe now is the time. I don't know. Let's get a price opinion of your house first. We can have that conversation. You can tell me where you want to live, right? And if you have people that right now are going, I want to move, but I don't know where I'm going to go. And part of that is why. Why would that happen? Well, we told everybody there's been no inventory for years. And I would like you to stop saying there's no inventory because that does not help. It does not help when we say there's no inventory. Now, inventory is weird right now. Some houses are on the market 90 days. Days on market has gone up. It's totally normal. Okay. But the old scripts don't work. If instead of saying there's no inventory, I want you to say, I have inventory. I can find you a house. Where do you want to live? turn this entire conversation, your desk that you're sitting at right now, I want you to lift it up and flip it up and over. And here's why. Mentally flip that script around, because I want you to be the agent who says, you know what, Mike and Lisa, I'm sure you're concerned about selling your house and selling it potentially too quickly because it's in the right condition. It's move-in ready. It's retail. We're not selling this thing wholesale. We're selling it retail. And it will sell quickly, and you're probably concerned you're not going to have a house to move to. And I get that, and I understand it. However, I have a strategy. I have a marketing plan. I can actually find you a house that is not yet listed. I do it all the time. It's the easy part. Finding a house that's not yet listed is easy if you believe that it is. If you don't, I need to change your mindset. We do it all the time. It's in our micro farming course. How do you do that? Well, you go be resourceful. Some of you have sold a house that wasn't in the MLS. Come on. We have given the MLS so much credit that it nauseates me, because honestly, I'm not anti-MLS. I mean, I kind of am a little bit. Whatever. We need it. I get it. It sells houses, buyer pool. I get it. I get it. I'm pro you, though. Before the MLS, the exclusive right to sell meant I was the only person that could sell this house ever, on the list side and the buy side. Like, go look up the history, right? So we do co-broking. I get it. I love it. It's great. You put a sign in the yard, you've cut your commission in half. But we've all gotten used to it, right? And then we say things like this, Lisa, Mark, Mike, it's going to take a while. There's nothing on the MLS. And I wanted you to hear how ridiculous that sounds. If I told you called me and said, I want to buy a house, and I said, it's going to take a while because there's nothing on the market, I'd be like, I'm firing you. Like, I want the agent who tells me I'm going to go out and find you a house. Yes, it may take a few weeks. I hope it doesn't. I'm going to get it done in the time frame you need. But know this, I have a proven system. You don't have to tell them how you do it. You just have to deliver. I was on a plane flying to Reston, Virginia, and this guy was like, let's talk about that lawsuit. I was like, okay. At the end of the lawsuit conversation, which seems like forever ago, doesn't it? I convinced this guy. I didn't even have to convince him. I said, I have my agents that I coach, and my system when I'm an agent for a buyer client is that I will go out and find you a house for $1 million that's not yet listed. Do you not see value in that? He said, I would hire you to do that. I said, of course you would. You'll also pay me 3% to do it. And he said, yes, I would. Now, it's, again, the confidence, how you execute, what you believe. My father taught me, I'm going to end on this. My father taught me at a very young age. I mean, I don't even think I was 10. He'd take me on sales calls, and I mean, it was unbelievable. But he said to me, the more value you add, that's the person that's going to get hired. So you need to be able to say your value proposition with confidence and execute on it and fire it out and know exactly with certainty, with clarity, with not arrogance, but confidence, right? I want to work with a confident CPA. I want to work with a very confident attorney. I don't want someone who's arrogant, but I need to have that confidence. I know they know what they're doing. When you add value, you get hired. Bottom line, you add more value than your competitors, you'll definitely get hired. When you add radically differentiating value, you get hired. So you have to sell yourself and why you are the right agent for them before you sell anything, before you sell a house, before you list a house. So go look at your listing presentation. Are you using your company as in just kind of going through the motions? Or did you write your own? Right? I mean, what is your value proposition? Can you communicate it? If you can, you have to speak it. You have to go out and do it. But he said to me, when you add value, people will hire you. And then he said to me, and when you add more value, people will pay more for that value. I mean, think about it. We pay a lot of money to have a steak and a nice Ruth's Chris, okay? I mean, why? The experience, the delivery, the ambiance, the service. You can emotionally go through the whole list of why. and we love it. We go there. It's the best. It's sizzling. The plate's so hot you can't touch it. The steak is all cooking. Like, you love that whole experience. Go to the Ritz-Carlton. It's the same thing. You pay more to get more, and there's value in that. I pay for my Amazon Prime because there's value in having it delivered quickly. I don't even know what I get anymore for Prime. I don't even know. Okay. But I know, to me, there's value in that fee. It goes up a little bit. I don't care. It's still valuable. Do you add value at every level? Do you actually differentiate what you do? You need to figure that out. I need you to focus on appointments, though. And I want you to literally take yourself into the end of the year. And I want you to say, do I have enough appointments between now and the end of the year? I don't think you do. I already know you don't, right? There are two kinds of calls. And if you think about it, like, you like calling the people that just bought a house from you. It's a lot easier because you're already doing business with them. But I need you to time block and put on the calendar. I'm going to sit with my phone and I'm going to make outgoing calls. Like, this thing actually makes money, and it makes outbound calls. Okay. It makes outbound calls. I'm not saying that to be funny. I'm saying that to remind you that we have a course called 10 calls to 20 grand. You make 10 calls today, you have an opportunity to make $10,000 to $20,000. I think that's a good day of sales calls, don't you? Yet most of us will get off this call and not do it. We'll get busy, we'll get sidetracked, we'll get distracted. I just saw it today. Distraction, traction, action. Like, isn't that cool? So can you take the rest of today and say, I'm going to book appointments? Because when you book appointments, when you go on more appointments, listing appointments, buyer appointments, here's my challenge: 4 listing appointments a week. 4 listing appointments a week, okay? And I'm going to tell you why. Because if you shoot for 4 and you get 2, great. If you just shoot for 2, you might only get 1 or none. So if you set that goal to 4 and you shoot for the moon, 10x is easier than 2x, everybody. But we've programmed ourselves to settle and say, oh, that's not realistic. I don't care if it's not realistic. Shoot for 4. What do I have to do to get 4 appointments? Call people. I don't know. Call people, get the expireds out, call your sphere, text people, go through my program if you want. What I know is this: if you shoot for 4, right, and you get 4 a month, 4 a week rather, that's 16 conversations, that's 16 listing appointments in a month. You're going to list 6 to 8 of them in a month. That's 10xing. Your numbers are great. I want 5 expired appointments, 5 buyer appointments. You could do that a week. I have a guy here in Cleveland. I put the challenge out. He said 5 a day. 5 appointments a day. 5 appointments. So no wonder he sells 400 houses a year. He's the rainmaker, okay? Your success will breed more success, and you will have freedom, time, financial goals hit, the whole thing, okay? Book this 20-minute call if you haven't done it. If you already have, you're probably good for a while, but we'd love to meet with you, of course. I want you to think about what your future self has to do to change. If you do the coaching, great. You said a ton of people sign up for coaching, and every single one of them said, I am plateaued. I'm not hitting my numbers. Just imagine doing this literally every single week and having great success and having freedom and work-life balance and everything that you actually want and deserve, as far as I'm concerned. Financial freedom, legacy. What could you do? Does anybody have a question before we jump? And I see a few people in coaching. Yay. If you have a question, happy to answer. If you are calling in, hi there. Oh my gosh. I just got to see who. I haven't looked here in a few minutes. If you are thinking about coaching, Liz will put the link in to get started. It's sherrijohnson.com/get started. That will take you straight over to our website. You can start coaching for $5.95 per month and literally game change your life. Okay. This is the rocket fuel you need. This is what you need to do. If you did not put your numbers, I didn't hear from everybody on your listing numbers. So go ahead into the chat. Rhonda, you told me a number, didn't you? I don't see your number actually. Give us a number, Joanne Neal. If you are in here, I see Gabrielle, what did you put down? Did you give me a number yet? Ann Cristaldi, I have yours. Kevin Dell, I don't even know if he's in the room still. I don't think he is. Grace. Hi, Grace. Grace Saliente from San Diego. Jamie Holt, good to see you. Suzanne Arms, go ahead and tell me how many listing appointments. All right. 3 per week starting mid-September. Got it. 4, Grace, that's awesome. Rhonda with 4. Thank you all. Okay. Whoever the admin is at Heartland at Realty One Group, I hope your office is doing a watch party. That makes me very happy. If you are, awesome. 5. I love it. 3 to 4. Let's do this. Pam Pope and Gail Nelson. Did you give me your numbers? Put it down, everybody. Thomas Burney, Pam, and it looks like, who do I have here? Hyacinth. If you could give me your number, that would be awesome. And guys, I'm just so excited. You have what it takes. You just have to act on it. Look at these testimonials. This gal went from 3 million to closing now probably closer to 15, $20 million a year. She is selling over 100 units a year, literally through coaching. This agent went from 32 million to 84 million in less than a year. That was an increase of $750,000 individually. John Hinton made $100,000 from an open house using the Sherri Johnson 50K at her next open house. 4 possible 5 listing. I love it, Pam. Remember, everybody, engage with people. Do what the agent who, and I'm going to put this back up again, do what the agent who told me I started to focus on appointment setting and not worrying about where their timeline was, right? If you take the pressure off the timeline, you're going to have a better result. People will actually say, oh yeah, that makes sense. I do need to come over. One of our coaching clients who, let's see if you are on here still, she got off. But I want to tell you that, yeah, she got off. An agent, oh gosh, I think Bethesda area, just signed up for coaching. Okay. Sold a $1.4 million house because of our coaching. And then 2 days ago told me that she picked up a $1.5 million listing because of our coaching. So that's like over $60,000 of income, right? 2 listings. So I'm telling you, you just got to put it into action. This is going to happen. We're going to get you information. How many of you plan on attending the 3-day summit? You're going to come to that. Again, $97 for the VIP. 3 days with me, walk you exactly through the step-by-step program for how to launch your $15 million pipeline. Each night you will take away to-dos and a project for you to finish. Come back the next day. We'll do it again. It's 3 days. It's only 2 hours a day. That will be a 6-hour commitment. If you can't make it or something happens, the date is being announced after this. I'm going to send an email out to you and I'll make sure you're on it. All of you will be invited. We'll be kick it off with a webinar first, and then you can attend the 3-day challenge, which is going to be the Goldmine Pipeline Challenge, $15 million pipeline or more if you're already at 15 million. Gail, 5 appointments a day via Zoom. Actual appointments, I need coaching. Yeah, here's the deal. Here's the deal. He said 5 a day, and they were in person. They were get in your car and go to someone's house. Okay, now, what's our excuse? My goodness, right? Think about that. 5 appointments a day. I do 5 appointments a day, new client appointments. That's inspiring. So again, I'll put this right here. If you're interested, book that call with us. We'll show you the coaching programs, and it is Get Started. SherriJohnson.com, get started. I believe that will take you, yeah, it'll take you straight to the coaching packages and the plans. Invest in yourself. Stop buying leads. And let's make this happen for you. Starting now, the fourth quarter starts September 1, not October 1st. Okay. The fourth quarter for you has 4 months in it, not 3. Make it happen. Let's roll into 2026. I'll see you all at the webinar and probably next Thursday's Catalyst. But the webinar will be announced, and then the 3-day challenge summit that will be Gold Mine Pipeline 3-day summit. You're going to love it. $97 investment gets you a Q&A with me. It gets, which is like a coaching call on your specific Gold Mine Pipeline, and after the 3 days, that is. And then you'll also have access to the playbacks. The $57 general admission will just be to get you onto this call. But either regard, I'll see you then. In the meantime, I'm Sherri Johnson. You guys have a great listing and sales week. And God bless you all. And I'll see you soon. Okay? Expireds, listings, let's go. Get it done. Thanks.